is going on YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. Now today's video is going to be all about getting new fish. As you can see, I've got my trusty plastic boxes here ready to go with 2 nets. So I've got quite a few followers on Instagram, and a lot of people message me, well, quite a few people message me like most weeks saying I'm getting rid of fish, they're closing down a tank, etc, etc. Now I had a guy message me last night saying he's getting rid of 3 plecos in the tank he's got. They're quite rare plecos, and he's only 50 minutes away, so we're going to meet sort of halfway, so it's only like a 25-minute drive for me, so it's not too bad. So I said to him, yeah, let's do it today, sort them out, get them out of the tank. We're going to meet him somewhere, I don't know whereabouts. I'm texting him on WhatsApp right now as we speak, so I'm getting the stuff ready to go and pick up the fish. So let's go and get these fish, and I'll show you what I'm going to be picking up today. And I'm back. That took about 50 minutes to an hour all in all, so about 25 minutes there, 25 minutes back. I was chatting to the bloke for 10 minutes or so, so yeah, about an hour or so. So it wasn't too bad. In the end, I didn't need my boxes because the guy packaged them all up really nicely for me, so all the fish are in here. So yeah, I didn't have to use my boxes or anything like that. I didn't have to do any netting. It was really good. I just turned up, he showed me the fish, we opened up the boxes. I re-taped them up in the van as well, so I didn't have any leakages. But let me put the camera down and let me show you what these fish are like, because they are stunning. Right, so let's start with this smallest box I've got here. Well, the smaller box. I can't remember which one's in here. Right, so these are the smaller plecos I've got for him in here. Let me show you. Now, he did pre-warn me earlier and said my water's got massive amounts of tannins in it, so don't worry, it's nothing to do with the water chemistry or anything like that. And as you can see, the water's really tanned, but there's nothing wrong with the water. Sometimes if your water looks like that, it's always to do with your wood. So I've got a massive bit of wood in the tank here, and it will leach tannins out in the water, and he had like 10 bits of wood in his tank. So there's nothing wrong with his water's sound, but here they are. So there's the 3 Beacons pleco, a little bit smaller than the one that's in this box here. And there's one of the Titanic plecos which is in there. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get a siphon, or get a pipe. I'm going to siphon some of the water out of this tank, because this is where the smaller plecos are going to go. And we'll do the same with this one. But let me open up this box and show you the size of this fish, because this fish is absolutely beautiful. This is a big Titanic pleco. I don't think I've ever seen a Titanic pleco as big as this. This is a massive fish. Now it's not doing it any justice in this box, because obviously the water's got loads of tannins in it, and it's an absolutely beautiful fish. Now I'm not going to be picking this one up with my hands, because look at the spikes on him. Look, it's like a cactus at the back. So I'm definitely not going to be picking this one up. I'm going to put it into a net and put it in the tank. But let's get some water in these boxes, get the temperature up to the temperature in the tanks, get them acclimated, and then basically start putting them in the tanks. So the big pleco is going to be going in here with the Oscars and the new clown arches, and the other 2 smaller plecos, they're actually not that small looking at them, are going to be going in here with all the Brissonneaux, snails, bits like that. There's corries and all sorts of bits in here. But obviously I'll keep an eye on them today, because I can move them and put them into another tank. I've got tanks set up all over the show, so it's not a problem if I have to move them. But let's siphon some water out, put them into the boxes, and get the fish in the tanks. Also, what I'm doing on this video, while I'm here, I might as well turn the lights on these tanks just for this video, because it's only about, what is the time, 2:46. So the lights come on these tanks about 3 o'clock-ish, so I'll turn them on for this video so you can see what's sort of going on in the tanks behind us as well. So that's that tank on, and I'll do the same with the skate behind us in this tank. So I've just turned the lights on behind us in this tank, because it's so dark in this room when this tank isn't on, because it's got a black background, it's got black sand, it just makes everything look pitch black. And I've turned the lights on this one as well, so there's something for you to look at while I'm doing this. So let's get some water in these boxes, and yeah, I can't wait to get these fish moved, because this one here is absolutely stunning. Now a lot of people will say to me, oh, you're siphoning too much water into that box too quickly, you need to sort of drip it in there. I haven't got a drip system, and I've done it this way for years. I've never had any problems doing it this way, so this is the way I'm going to do it. And the temperature of this tank is about 26 degrees, 26.5 normally when it's heated. I did do a water change in this tank this morning, and it's saying 26 degrees, so it's still heating up. So it will actually help the pleco which is in here. There's a water temperature in here, it's probably about 24 at the moment. So let's crack on, get this done. Okay, I actually did both boxes while I was there and I just splashed water all over the floor. So I'm going to quickly mop that up, give them 5 minutes just to settle in that water temperature which has just gone in there. And yeah, we can do the fun bit. Okay, it's been about 10 minutes or so now, I just had a quick cup of tea. So I'm going to start with the smallest fish first, the smaller ones, and put them in this tank behind us here. So this is 150 litres, this tank. So it's perfect for these fish at the moment. They do absolutely fine in here. They're not big enough for like something like this at the moment. I especially want to put them in there with this big pleco and with the Oscars and stuff at the moment because they might get picked on, and I've got a big gibby plec in here as well, so I don't want to risk it. So I'm going to put them in here for now, grow them up for a few years, and then eventually I'll put them into one of my big aquariums. But I've got a net ready here, let's start netting them in. Right, so that's them 2 fish in there. So there's the Titanic plec at the back there, just tearing up the substrate. Absolutely beautiful fish. Now he shouldn't pest the bristlenose, and the bristlenose shouldn't pester him, because I did have a L114 pleco in here a few weeks ago, and he's near enough probably double that, and he was doing absolutely fine with the plecos in here. And the 3 beacons plex just at the back there on one of the artificial plants, and that's an absolutely beautiful fish as well. Now the thing with plecos, what people do to go wrong with plecos, they only feed them vegetables and algae wafers and things like that. They need meat, these plecos, so they need mussels, they need fish, all sorts of stuff. Whatever you can get to sink at the bottom, they will gnaw on all night. So make sure if you're going to get plecos like this, you need to feed them meat. And another good thing to feed them as well is I've got meaty pellets here, sinking pellets. They're really good for plecos as well. They go mad for them. So that's them 2 plecos in there. Let's let them settle down. But I've still got to get this big boy out and put it in the 1,000 litre tank behind us. But I love that 3 beacons pleco, it's absolutely beautiful. Now I have got another 3 beacons pleco, and it's in this tank. I saw it about a month ago underneath the wood, but it's so rare you get to see it, it's such a small fish. But looking at this one here, this looks a few years old. The one I've got is probably a few months old. So it's an absolutely beautiful specimen. And the Titanic's just at the back there. Now apparently this is a normal Titanic, what I've got here, but the one I've got in here, it's got some strange colours with it. It's got like a reddish tail, the guy was telling me. So it looks more like an L25 Scarlet Pleco. So, but you can't really see what's going on in here because obviously the water's so dirty, and well, not dirty, it's got so many tannins in the water so you can't really see the colours. So let's get this in the 1,000 litre tank and see how nice this one looks. So that's the big boy in. I'm probably not going to get a chance to see him now because he's just gone round the back of that wood. But we can come out in, oh here he comes. I was going to say we can come out in a few hours and see how he gets on, but you can see him at the back there. So it's just about to meet the gibby pleckers around the back there. So the guy who had him before, he kept him in, I think he said he had a 3-foot tank. So this is like a 6.5 foot tank, so it's a lot bigger tank. And I think his tank was 350 litres, and this is near enough 1,000 litre tank. So he should do really well in here. It's such a bigger tank for him. You can't really see him because the Oscars are sort of hiding him. But let's come out in a few hours and see how the plecs are getting on, because I don't want to stress them out. I'm going to turn the lights off this tank now as well and just leave it to its normal schedule. I'm going to give the plecos a good couple of hours now, and then we'll come back at it and see how they're all getting on. It's been a few hours now, the plecos have settled in really well, but I've just had a massive thought. This one in here is going to stay in here because this tank's big enough, but I've just put these 2 plecos in this tank behind us, this 150 litre tank. Let me show you. So they're in this 150 litre tank here, the 3 beacons there, but they're quite big fish for this sort of size tank. Now when I get fish off people, I like to put the fish in sort of a bigger tank than what they've kept it in, if you know what I mean. So what I'm tempted to do is to take these 2 plecos out of here. The temperature is exactly the same in here as it is in my 4-foot tank in the actual lounge, and I'm probably going to put them in there. There's the Titanic pleco at the back there. So both the fish are settled in really well. I'm fine with them. All my water in all my tanks is the same temperature, same pH, etc, etc. So it's not going to shock their system me putting them in another tank today as well. They've been in here for a few hours now. Like I said, they've settled in really well, but I am tempted to put them in that tank. Well, I say I'm tempted, I'm going to put them in the other tank because this is not big enough for these 2 fish, and I've got loads of bristlenose in there, so they're all going to be fighting for food and stuff like that. Now I've only got 2 plecos in the other tank in there. I've got a bristlenose, a L114 cactus plec, and it'll be these 2 other plecos, so there's not going to be loads of competition. So let's get them out of this tank and I'm going to put them in that tank in there. Plus as well, I don't really sit out here, you know, I sit out here looking at this tank, these couple of tanks every now and then, but nothing like when I'm sitting out in my lounge when I'm watching telly or playing PlayStation, I can see my tanks, you know, and it would be really nice to see these two Plecos on show tonight when I'm watching, well, when I'm playing PlayStation, having a couple of beers. So I'm definitely going to get them out because they're quite wasted in this tank here. So let's get a bucket, fill it up with some water and move them over. Okay, I've got both the Plecos out of the tank. That literally took me 30 seconds. I thought I was going to be here for a good few minutes because there's loads of rocks and stuff here. They're pretty chilled from earlier as well. So I think that helped me. They have definitely gained their colour back from earlier, so they're a lot less stressed than they was before. You can see the colours starting to come through, especially on the Titanic now as well. But I don't want to stress them out anymore. I want to get them in that 4-foot tank, so let's get out there and put them in there. So this is the tank I'm going to be putting them in. So it's my 4-foot tank. Got my little boy over there talking to me. It's my 4-foot tank, it's 550 litres. Like I said, it's a lot bigger tank than the other one, so they should do absolutely fine in here. There's a lot more food going in this tank. All the top fish obviously smash up food and it sinks to the bottom, so Plecos get loads of that. I feed them mussels once a week as well, and what are you saying? Feed them mussels once a week, and there is a cactus plec in here somewhere, which rarely comes out. I normally see them at night. But yeah, let's put them in there. So, there's these two bad boys in there. Beautiful fish. Let's get them in the tank. What's in the bucket? What's in there? Where should we put the fish in the 4-foot tank? You want to? We'll put them in there? No, they're going in this tank. This one. We're going to put them in there, yeah? Yeah, let's put them in there. Come on. So the two Plecos are in there, but I think we should come back this evening. I don't think we'll be able to see them. Actually, there's one of them there. The 3 beacons is just there, right next to Anubis. And where's the other one? I don't know if we're going to see the other one. So I'll probably come. Oh, he's just down the back there, right down the bottom there. So we'll come back this evening, and hopefully I'll be able to show you a proper view of them in this tank. They should look really cool in this tank. But what I'm also going to do in another video as well, because I've obviously got quite a few night fish, I'm going to do a night video of all my tanks when all the lights are off and it's dark outside. I'll come down and video all the tanks and show you what the fish do at night. So let's come back in a few hours and see how they're getting on. Right, welcome back to the video everyone. So it's been exactly 3 days now since I've got the Plecos. So let's find out how they're getting on and whereabouts they are in the tank. Now I can see the tail just at the back there of the 3 beacons Pleco. Now it's going to be really hard to try and find a good view to show you these fish, but you can see the tail just moving at the back there. Now we probably won't see him now, it's completely hidden. And I'm pretty sure the Titanic, yeah, that's the Titanic there. So the Titanic's under this bit of wood. So they're doing absolutely fantastic. I fed them prawns and whitebait last night, and they went absolutely crazy for it. I've scattered a few bits around in the middle of the tank, and actually put a few bits down on the bottom here, and they've completely gone. So last night they were probably just absolutely tearing into all that stuff. But I did see them when I was sort of watching telly last night. I'm watching a good series at the moment, and I did see them sort of coming out. The lights go off about 9 o'clock on this tank, and as the lights started going a little bit dim on the setting, what I've got on these Fluval lights, the Plecos were sort of tearing about around the bottom here. So I've got no issues with these Plecos. They're doing fine. They settled in really well to the tank, and they're eating like crazy. I'm sorry guys, I can't show you the fish properly because they're hiding so much. But let's get out in the fish room and I'll show you the big boy Titanic as well. While I'm on the camera, I want to show you my L25 as well. So my L25 plec is just behind this cloud of clown loaches. You can see my L25 there. And it's very similar to the Titanic plec, which I'm going to show you soon. And actually there's my Royal pleco as well, which is hanging onto the wood there. And my big Gibby plec, which is there as well. Here's the tank where the Titanic plec is. Hopefully he's out and I can show him. Yep, here he is. So he's on the glass there. You can see he's having a bit of a munch on the glass there. He's got some scars on him here, as you can see. So I don't know what that's from. Maybe that's from my Gibby plec at the back there. So I need to keep an eye on that. Or it could just be from him tucking himself into this wood here, hiding from like sort of new fish, because obviously he's got a new fish to this tank. But he's an absolute stunning fish. He's massive. Look, see his size him against my hand there. So I've had him about 3 days now. So that's a better view. There you go. So it's a Titanic pleco. That's what the guy said he was. He looks like one, but he's very similar to like the L25, like I said, with sort of the tail there. You know, because the one I've got in the smaller tank, the Titanic pleco, has got very different markings to this one. But obviously this is a bigger fish, so as they get older they must lose some markings. But it's an absolutely stunning fish. I'm well happy with this fish. But they're going to get a good feed tonight as well. I'm going to do my algae wafer and stuff. And also, the clown loaches have settled in fantastically. They're doing absolutely fine. There's a real skinny one, which I did mention. Here he is here. So there's a real skinny fish, this is. So I'm trying to keep an eye on him. He's surviving, don't get me wrong. But I am thinking it will actually die one day. So keep an eye on him. All I can do at the moment is the big water changes, which I'm doing, and the good food. So I can't do anything else with him. But yeah, plecos are doing absolutely fantastic. I'm really pleased, because you know it's like when you're buying fish off well, even off shops. You don't know what you're going to get when you get home. You don't know what the different water parameters are in the shops, in your house, in his house or whatever. And things can go terribly wrong, especially if you're spending a lot of money on fish, and especially with plecos. But absolutely fantastic fish. I'm well pleased with this. But anyway guys, thanks for watching the video as always. Like and subscribe my channel, ding the notification bell, and keep it real everyone.